How's it going, fellas? New project came in. I over the holidays I rebuilt this engine. Had a crank bearing was seized on once on the mag side, I believe, and uh, new rings, new seals, uh, new bearings for the kickstarter side. The clutch side, I put new bearings in there, and that's about it. Cleaned up the insides real good. Uh, the cool thing is it's a custom craft. It was ported by them, and they put a cylinder liner in it. It's on the stock 70 millimeter piston still, and yeah, it's kind of it came together. The only other thing I'm worried about is I gotta redo that shifter shaft. Somebody cut it off. Somebody with a welder, I think. Anyway, this is the bike. I'm kind of gotten it to the point where I'm tearing it down. The rear shock will need to be rebuilt along with new bearings in the mountings, and all of the other parts that, like the trunnion that goes here. Replace the bearings. I replace the bearings on the swing arm also. While you're there, you might as well. But I'm going to have the frame. Still debating on whether I should go get it powder coated or just sandblasted and spray bombed. Not sure. It's just not that rare a bike. It's a 1986 Kawasaki kx250 two-stroke, and first gen for this year. And the reason, well, the 85 and 86 are relatively close. The only difference with the 86 is it came with a disc brake, where the 85 came with a drum brake still. So we're going back. So I've been cleaning up on it. The other thing, somebody with a welder was nice enough to weld the peg on. And I don't know why you would want to do that, because if you crash and this thing is solid, it lands on, you're going to take a spleen out pretty quick. So, and it'll stop you in your tracks if you hit a stump or something. Your woods riding. I mean, it's bent backwards, so I'm going to have to grind that thing off and then see if I can. I don't know. I'm thinking about having to make a whole new peg bracket for that, so not a big deal. It's a couple-hour job. These did come with, I believe they were 42 millimeter forks, and they kept going with that style fork till they didn't go upside down till later 90s. They stayed with this setup, and this poor thing was just beat down. They broke the ends of the levers off. Who knows? They just beat the living daylights out of this thing, and need some new levers. And I think those are Renthal handlebars, aluminum handlebars. And I'm going to deal with the front end last. I usually like to go from back to front. and keep you know keep the list going. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get a rebuild kit for the swing arm and all of the auxiliary components that go there. The tank is kind of nasty. I just got to clean this stuff up real good. I don't understand why people always find the need to paint these. That looks like shit. And I don't know. I'm debating on whether getting all new plastic for this bike is around $265. It's rear fender, front fender, side panels, and radiator ducts. And yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I'm looking at. I don't know. I could strip the paint off of that, or maybe find some nicer used panels on eBay or something. But yeah. So yeah, new project. Just started it like today. And I got the engine first. And it was a jigsaw puzzle. It was in boxes and pieces. Usually when it comes to rebuilding engines, I like to take them apart. And a lot of times I'll film while I'm taking it apart, so that way if I get confused or I miss something, I can look back and see how it came apart. So this is the first generation Kips also, and it was fairly simple. You can't find parts for these Kip systems, so if you guys ever come across anything from 85 to whatever, the newest ones, the last of the two strokes, look at the Kip system real close, because that stuff wears out badly. And there's one guy, I think he's in Germany, that sells Kip's parts that he makes on a CNC machine, and they're not cheap. They're very expensive parts. So something to think about. The other thing I've did a little bit of research, and what I've seen guys do is they'll pin the exhaust. I don't know what you even call those, directionals. They'll pin them in one position and leave them there. So all you have is like mid-range and high end, and literally no low end, very little low end. But it runs and you can have fun with the bike. But yeah, that any of those late generational two strokes with the Yamahas, the Hondas, the Suzukis, every one of them is problematic with those variable exhaust systems. So hopefully things are going to work out. Things will come together. I hope I don't have to spend a ton of money. So far I got 100. I think I got about $105 into this bike, and then the retail on these bikes on a good day, if you can find somebody who's looking for a nice vintage Evo 2-stroke, ready to go on the track, probably looking at right around $2,200. Right. On the low end, probably around 16 to 15. So you got to weigh the economics on these bikes. Well, have a good night.